Shizune, the loyal assistant of Tsunade Senju, niece of Don Katō. Those are some things that you may know Shizune, the very underrated character from the hit anime/manga series, Naruto. But, what do I know her as? What do I think of this very underrated character that definitely deserves more love and attention? What do I think of her? I think she's a lesbian. And I'm gonna prove this video. And you're gonna leave here thinking, wow, she really was gay. You guys are probably already thinking, oh, you're just trying to spread your woke liberal agenda. Pale Trump, MAGA. But these characters are gay, alright? I'm not trying to make them gay, make you think that they are gay, because, it's the truth, the evidence is undeniable. I may be a woke liberal, but I am just simply telling you guys the truth, right? I don't care if you don't like the gays, alright? Because I like the gays. I'm going to talk about people who are the gays. Shizune is a character from the hit manga series Naruto, written and illustrated by Kishimoto. We are introduced to her as the loyal assistant to Tsunade Senju, which I've mentioned previously. And she's basically her right hand and her straight man, making sure that she doesn't do stupid shit like gamble her life savings or drink like crazy, which she doesn't do a good job at. She's also one of Tsunade's apprentices, but she failed to unlock the Byakugo seal, aka the Strength 100 seals. But that doesn't mean that she's bad in medical ninjutsu. She's pretty good. Not as good as Tsunade, but pretty good. She also has a godlike entity by the name of Tauntaun, which takes the form of a pig as her pet. And of course, she's the niece of Don Katō. We'll get into that later. Now, Shizune and Tsunade's relationship is very interesting, to say the least. We don't really know why they're this close. No flashback, no line, no anything really tells us how they met, why they met, or why they're so close in this first place. This theory explains it all with one thing. You probably know what that one thing is. Shizune has a big lesbian crush on Tsunade. Now, after analyzing Tsunade and Shizune's relationship, they clearly have something more than just friends, or even assistant. Because remember, she's Tsunade's assistant, Assistant, their relationship is supposed to be professional. Well, it's not even supposed to be a deep friendship. But the series shown us something way more than just friendship. No, it's higher than my dad of what it is as a relationship, right? Because Shizune is attached to Tsunade, in a way that's just not platonic. It's been stated that she's going to die for this woman. Alright, she's going to die for the 106 centimeters. Now, would a regular friend want to do that? Or even someone's assistant, even if her job is to protect Tsunade and help her with the paperwork, I wouldn't want to do that. I don't want to do that for the 106. Some of you might, but I wouldn't. But she would. And she'd do it again. Not only that, but during Tsunade's coma, she stood by her all the time until she woke up. Next clip that I'm about to show you will tell you everything. That was fucking gay. So, there's a million different ways that you can interpret that scene. But It's just gay. And with everything else that she's shown in the series, it's just gay. Why am I doing this? I don't know. But that was gay. Alright? I don't know what else to tell you, man. It was gay. But of course, this theory isn't done yet. It isn't. It is not. Far from it. It's a toku, Tsunade. No inquiries necessary for that answer, just Tsunade. No. Look, if Shizune is gonna be gay, then the person who she should be with is obviously Tsunade. Not only is this perfect for Tsunade's arc, but, you know, Shizune needs love as a character. Like, you know, she's either shipped with Naruto for some reason, or just not included in any of the fandom's works. Like, what's the last time you heard Shizune mention in a YouTube video that wasn't from, I don't know, 10 years ago, or 8? That wasn't talking about the other Sonics. But what was the last time? Doing this makes her on equal footing with Tsunade. At least in terms of the fandom. Which would be great for her. And how does this work well for Tsunade? Well, her arc gets resolved. Because a big thing about Tsunade's character is that she has PTSD over Dawn's death. Which is why she doesn't want to really make connections with people. Because, you know, she's afraid that they'll die. Just like Dan. Also, her brother died too. Forgot to mention that. You know. Dead brother. But yeah, you know. Her actually being able to find love with someone that she already has a deep connection with. Someone that she can trust. Because, you know, Shizune's been with her this whole time. By her side. All the time. And she hasn't gone yet. So what does Tsunade have to fear with Shizune? Nothing. Nothing at all. Now, the elephant in the room. The one problem, or at least the problem that you all might be thinking, you little stinkers. I have the answer for it. I have the answer for it. I have the answer for it. You're gonna fucking hear it. I'm probably gonna fucking camera. Alright. So, Shizune is Dawn's niece, so doesn't that make Tsunade and Shizune aunt and niece? No. Because, first of all, Tsunade never really married Dawn. Alright, so they're not related legally and they're not related biologically. So, no incest. No, I don't do incest. I'm looking at you, Rule 34 community, and Baruto, and Nada. I don't know why you make it, but you make it. Yeah, and didn't Tsunade know Shizune as a kid? Also no. Right, nothing in the timeline suggests that they met when Shizune was even a genin. So I think that they likely met somewhere when Shizune was a jonin. Because Shizune is the same age as Kakashi. And Kakashi was like 13 when he was genin. So if we use that logic, she was also 13. And Minato was an adult. Kakashi was 13. So, Shizune would have to be much older to even be born before Dawn died. Or after. So Tsunade would never have known about Shizune in all of her childhood. So they would have to find out much longer after that. Alright? You know, I see a lot of people talking about, like, how Dawn supposedly took care of Shizune or something. Has that been confirmed? Because I don't remember hearing about it. I personally don't. Alright, I see fan art of it. timeline it just isn't timeline, you know? The timeline ain't timelining. So now that I've settled that there's nothing morally or ethically wrong with the ship even happening, I think I did what I needed to do. You know, I think I proved, or at least made you see the truth that Shizune is a die-hard lesbian. The original lesbian of the series, in fact. A very underrated one, in fact, that you should definitely make your own video about, or fan art, whatever you do, you know, you should do that. That's not Shizune propaganda. It's not. I don't know why you thought that. I'm not. No. Darling, baby, darling, I'm darling, baby, darling,